Good morning. It is Friday. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday, friends and family, loved ones and friends all over the planet, and definitely all over here, my country, the United States of America. All right, guys, it's time to seek failure today, okay? Today we're going to talk about seeking failure, and this is counterintuitive for a lot of people, so listen up here because there's some key points here, especially my whole world of you doctor types out there and super smart top 10 student-like people who have really, built their life, success upon success upon success. You may be actually limiting yourself by doing that. So we're going to talk about that today, okay? So quantum leaps demand a willingness to make mistakes. You cannot hole up in a safe zone of behavior where you have beaten the odds of failing. Oh gosh, this is so good, guys. You've created a little cocoon for yourself where you have beaten the odds of failing. Wow. An unwillingness to encounter defeat or run into problems outlaws quantum leaps. You may have outlawed yourself from quantum leaps. Think about that. Unless you allow yourself to make mistakes, to fail, you will never have the opportunity to test the limits of what you truly are capable of accomplishing. Okay? You must realize that if you're experiencing no difficulties, problems, or pain, you probably have aimed too low. Wow. You've leveled off in your growth and achievement. Good morning, Tracy. How are you? Good morning, Ayub. You probably are far from reaching your limits. So think of problems or pain or slippage in performance as a positive sign. A performance lag ordinarily occurs at the very outset when you are making a quantum leap. It's the pause during which you poise for the jump, the temporary loss of momentum that occurs in the process of changing gears. Wow. I have definitely experienced this on more than one occasion, and definitely more recently over the last year in my life, just changing gears. Seemed like a total failure in the beginning, but it's more of a quantum leap. Failure is a resource that helps you find the edge of your capacities, but this is really hard especially for like us professionals and us doctors, lawyers, even, engineers, certain other professions where the perfection of our performance actually allows us to keep our jobs and allows us to, in the case of doctors, not get attacked by the legal system and people. But oftentimes it actually, I think, impedes breakthroughs in thinking, not only for the individual healer or person, but breakthroughs in thinking for, patient care or research questions or whatnot. So you deliberately destabilize yourself when you break out of the habit patterns that represent the status quo. Yeah, you destabilize yourself. You create some inner chaos for yourself. So be prepared for the possibility of confusion, anxiety, and failure. Yeah, this is so key, guys. And this is, when I guide people through a 6-month process of truly a quantum leap inner transformation, this is about week 12 to 14 into the work that we do together, where we talk about this dynamic of a terror barrier. And most people hit the terror barrier and they feel uncomfortable, so they think that's something wrong, but because they aren't aware of this dynamic and of this process and how to evaluate their mind, what's going on inside of them, and move forward, a lot of people just bounce back. And I think there's a lot of lost human potential because of that as well. Okay. Hey, I'm Forrest Patrick. Good morning. So that's part of opening yourself up to a new methodology that has the potential to deliver exponential performance gains. So often in life, it seems things first get worse on the way toward getting better. Be prepared for that sort of development. Problems belong in the process. They are part of the equation that produces U squared. They are not proof that your ambitions are futile or that you should give up. As someone has said, everything looks like a failure in the middle. Oh, yeah. You cannot bake a cake without getting the kitchen messy. Halfway through surgery, it looks like there's been a murder in the operating room. Yes, as a surgeon, I've been in that situation thousands of times, okay? You have to keep going and keep going. If you send a rocket toward the moon, about 90% of the time, it's off course. It fails its way to the moon by continually making mistakes and correcting them. This is the cybernetic mechanism, right? It's also the cybernetic mechanism of planes, of thermostats and whatnot. We have cybernetic mechanisms as well. At the outset, you may feel high because going for the quantum leap is heady stuff, but then the hard reality of problems may slap you in the face. Progress often masquerades as trouble. You know, and that's really when your character comes in and that's the real test of whether you're just interested or whether you're committed. Because people who are interested do things out of convenience. People who are committed make a decision and they stick to it and they do whatever it takes to get there. Okay, I had posted a picture yesterday along those lines with a guy on a unicycle up like 2 stories. I love that picture. At the outset, you may feel high because going for the quantum leap is heady stuff, but then the hard reality of the problems hits. Okay, you gotta dive into those, guys, because those are opportunities for growth. It's easy to lose faith because other people may withdraw their support and be critical of your efforts. That, plus your own anxieties and uncertainties, can tempt you to turn on yourself. How many times have you given up on yourself? How many times have you turned on yourself? Really evaluate the self-talk, right? I have to do this too. I'm not perfect. I have to do this too. You know, something goes wrong and then all that self-critical, voice comes back in, and that pushes you further back. It makes it harder. So learn how to talk to yourself differently, right? That takes a daily practice and work and a coach. This is the crucial point in the progress. Don't give up. Failure belongs here. It's a sign of progress. The stress will seduce you toward retreat to the safety of the status quo, the trap of the familiar. Yes, Dr. Spencer Poole of London, England, and I do these weekly conversations and interviews with each other, and we talk about this. People don't stay where they're comfortable, okay? People stay where they're familiar, even though they might be miserable. How many people do you know who are in miserable relationships and miserable jobs? And I hate my job, I hate this, I hate that. Well, change. Why don't they change? They're familiar. It's like the gravity of the familiar, right? It's a pull of the familiar. Learn how to identify that that's actually limiting you and you need to make a leap. Okay. So the stress will seduce you toward retreat to the safety of the status quo, the trap of the familiar. Just remember this: failure does not mean you're defeated. Actually, the struggle gives you strength. It's like tempering the steel or the soreness involved in developing the muscle. The difficulties are just evidence that you're learning and you're progressing. Yeah, you guys, I have to, share, I'm trained as an obstetrician, right? So a lot of these things are so true in labor and delivery. Labor is a struggle. It's a struggle, it's work, and it's a struggle. And also for the baby has to put effort too. And, I've delivered babies that actually have certain abnormalities in their muscles, so their muscles actually don't work. And that they don't engage, in that struggle of the birth process. And so when they come out, there's a lot of difficulty that they have, including, butterflies. Butterflies have to go through that struggle of getting out of the cocoon, right? Because that's how the fluid shifts, and that's how the wings get filled out with the fluid, and then they can fly. If they don't go through that struggle, let's say you go and you see, a butterfly that's trying to get out of its cocoon, and then you help it. And then you just, slit the cocoon open. You've done that butterfly a disservice, because the struggle is what gets it ready for flight. Okay? So go looking for failure and then use it. Don't interpret problems or breakdowns as proof that you should quit, but instead take them as evidence of your growth and improvement. Failure is a resource. It helps you find the edge of your capacities. So comment below about what idea has been helpful to you. And if any of these ideas have been helpful to you and you want to work more closely with me, just PM me, guys, and we can have a conversation about what that would look like, and we can certainly help you go from stuck and frustrated to freedom and flowing. All right? I look forward to talking with you and connecting with you, and I hope you have a great Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.